I was going to ask whose job it was really, and you just, in that your last sentence, you said Nigerian leaders really need to sit down and think about this. I had thought that you were talking about the people. Say the people have to know that, you know, we're tired of this. We're tired of the lawlessness. We're tired about people not obeying laws. Even those who should be safeguarding those laws aren't obeying the laws. So we're going to be very careful. We have to decide on who we want to bring. But I don't think those kind of conversations go on in the minds of the ordinary people. They vote, they will vote, and as you've just said, maybe assume that those that are leading us should, you know, show us the way, which perhaps, arguably, you could say is what happened with our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's in office now, and he's proceeding apace. He's proceeding by his own best lights. There are complaints here, complaints there, but by and large, we hear that, you know, it's a bitter pill. He himself has said it. It's a bitter pill. We must take that pill so that we will be relieved of our ailment, and then shortly we shall, continuing the metaphor, not even be aware anymore that there was a time when we were sick. But I don't think there's too much going on in this country. We all know. I don't know how we're going to arrive at that disciplined position. Take what's happening now. Take the fuel situation.
From the beeping mainframes of the 1960s to the smartphone in your pocket, and now machines that can think.
A situation that we find ourselves in. And as a man of the arts yourself, being an author, and if you were to look at it creatively, perhaps take advantage of imaginative composition. Where do you think this is leading us to? Because you just said something that is a bit scary. Say 25 years from now, if we don't do the needful now, 25 years from now, we're going to be at the same place saying that we should have done it, or here it is 25 years later. If you were to do a bit of imaginative composition, where exactly would you say this country is heading the way it is?
Well, it's just like what I said earlier. If we, in our own realm of thought, put the country first in what we do, we will be able to achieve a lot as a country. But our politics is so divisive, toxic and hostile, to the point that the person who is not in government is being seen to be an enemy, and the one who is being in government also is being seen to be an enemy by those who are out of government. And as such, when you have a situation like that, you see that whoever takes power thinks that he has conquered, and anyone who is not within his own area of support, he is a foe. And for many people too, when they lose election, the next thing they do is to fight, to see how they can continue to fight the government. And so you have two belligerent sides. One is in government and one is not out of government. And then when you have this kind of combative politics and combative citizenship, the country will continue to go down the drain. For example, if you are having a political rally, it's expected that those who should be in that political rally should be members of their political party. That is right. But if you are having an independence celebration, those who should be there should be people from all political backgrounds. But since 1999 to date, each time we are celebrating independence, you see that it's the government that is celebrating it, and the other side is simply pushed out. Now, someone made an observation that I think it's Senator Ojo Zakalu, that he said that there should be 6 years single tenure. Now, that comes with a lot of issues in the fact that, on one side, some people think that if we have 6 years single tenure, now there will be enough time for governance. Now, what do we have in the present situation here is 4 non-consecutive terms. The only time we don't talk of the next election is the first year in government. From 2003, the only time you don't hear much about 2027 was 2023. I mean, 2023. Now, From 2024, it's about 2027. From 2025, it's about 2027. From 2026, it's about 2027. So politics almost starts after election. Now, where you have almost 80% of that 4 year is being used for campaign for the next election, there's virtually no time for governance, and this is the situation which we are having again. And where you have an executive that is thinking of the next election, so many things and a lot of energy is dissipated on the next election that is coming. So Ojo Zakalo has his point. But if you banded that to the National Assembly today, there will be a lot of suspicion. Probably it's an attempt to extend the tenure of the president. Probably it's something to do this, to do that, and now it goes that way. Now, it is incumbent on the president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to know that he has a historic opportunity as a leader to reset, reconfigure, and reshape the destiny and future of this country. And to do that, he should not mind the fallout as far as he is concerned, because at the end of the day, he should think of what becomes of our nation in the next 20 to 30 years. Most of the people who are holding position of power today in this country are in their late 50s, 60s, and 70s. So expectedly, you are sure that in the year 2040 something, most of them will be dead. So what becomes of the millennials? What becomes of the Gen Z? What becomes of the future of this country when they're in power? The next century will be the next 75 years, which is 2100. And I don't think anybody watching this television will be there at that very time. So what you can do is you do it at your own time when you have the opportunity to do it. Great countries that have achieved, nations that have achieved greatness, like Singapore, like Indonesia, like Malaysia, and Brazil, and even China, you will see at a certain point in their lifetime, they have to say, we have been going the wrong way, and this is the right way to go. And it's always be unpopular. But later people would appreciate it. People make references to Lee Kuan Yew, but look at what he has done. He looked at Singapore after they broke away from Malaysia. He looked at the economic and political problem, and he set a template that this must be done. And it came with a lot of price, and they were able to achieve it. Even people who are making, nowadays, you on your social media or go through the media, you see people start making an example of China. And say, look at China, look at China. But did you care to know the history of China? China fought the Communist Party and the National Party of Chiang Kai-shek, fought a civil war, and then they fought Japanese imperialism. And there was the Cultural Revolution, which became a disaster, which many people lost their lives. And then Deng Xiaoping came in the late 70s and early 80s. He implemented reform that was very unpopular. The country was being run under communist ideological Marx-Lenin system. Now he said, we are going to do Chinese communism, Chinese capitalism with communist characteristics. This is what he said. And then he set out his template. People were saying he sold out, he is bringing capitalist ideas today. And now they went through that period, and this is what they achieved. So somebody will sit down in Nigeria and say, look at China. No country has dropped from heaven. It's the people that built it. The same thing with Indonesia under Malaysia under Mahathir Mohamad. Sometimes it comes with the price of human rights and other things there. So for us as a country today, we have to decide on what to do. The president of the country has to know very well if he is working and aspiring to be different from other leaders, which of course he has been doing a lot in that aspect of it, then he has to look at people. There are people who are not within the political system. There are not people who may not, because he is used to that. The standard he has set in Lagos, where he brings the best to lead, I think it has to be done in the whole country. If you have people around you which will say, Mr. A is good, but he is bad, but he has a brain that can redeem this economy and lead us forward. But you just have to look at it from that viewpoint. If you have like someone who can do a lot in technology, someone who can work in science, but the person has a different political view than you, you have to look at what he has to offer as far as the country is concerned. And then we move forward this way. If President Bola Tinubu fails, I do not think that it's going to be easy for any other president to go. There is no perfect country in the world. There is no country that just started from one. If you look at the United States in the last 100 years, it's not different from where we are today. The Amnesty International 2 days ago was accusing Tanzania government of being repressive to opposition, attacking the media, and even putting the opposition leader on trial. Now look at the No Kings protesters in the United States. They are almost saying the same thing against Trump and the US government. So even the country that has been under democracy for over 2 centuries, they still have challenges. So for us as a country, we just have to know that if we don't do what you need to do today, we'll still have to do it in the next 25 and 30 years.
Yeah.
Like I've said, most of the people who are in power today are in their 60s, averagely, 70s. In the next 25 years, they're all dead. There is no doubt. Even if you are not dead, you become useless. So do something to which the next generation will not suffer the problems and the indecision of our own time. So this is my own view of this.